Some of the cars are particularly radiating a lot of heat inside them. If you look at the likes of the MGB and the TR7 V8, etc., others in the same vein, they're highly tuned to the extent they can be, and with that comes the byproduct of heat. All looking good though. They're
here we go then, lights on the bridge, and away we go for the first race of the day here for the SMRC June meeting. It's the Scottish Classic Sports and Saloons, and John Greenman's off to a rocket ship start in that Rover Vitesse SD1 down onto the brakes, then into the hairpin. Of course, the reverse layout, the first time that these drivers are going to be taken to this time round. You can see all of the cars there, and Malcolm, a wonderful sight to see the Classic Sports and Saloons absolutely blossoming again.
Yeah, it's excellent. You see Russell coming up there in the BMW in 6th place there on the rear of Kenny Brown's TVR, and just behind Russell is Elliot Patterson in his Morgan, with Adam Kinman behind and Dixon's Cortina following close.
Now, the cameras here obviously giving an idea of just how wet and blustery it can be throughout different parts of the circuit. The start line could be glorious sunshine, and down at Clark's it could be a little bit more damp, shall we say. But there you can see number 69 of Nicky Dixon just coming up through the hill here as well. That was some side-by-side action with one of the BMWs there, that E36 that we were speaking about earlier of Philip Russell. But as you said there's Alistair Bapty up on the inside of Andrew Graham, so that is second place for the Bapty man. Great job there, great move on the inside in that brand new Triumph TR8.
It's tricky to brake coming into the hairpin here. This is what for some drivers is the most difficult part. They're gaining a really strong run up through the start finish line and carrying a lot of speed in. They have to scrub off very quickly.
And the other thing that was a way to mention that we saw last time out that you were here, Malcolm, was that the Rover of John Kinman, it gets a lightning start for the first couple of laps, and then those tyres really start to go like bubble gum quite quickly. I wonder if this is the race where Alistair Bapty is going to actually be able to catch up to the back end of John.
Yeah, well, it's for Alistair first time out with this car in this configuration, so obviously he's driven the circuit in this setup many times, but yeah, he'll be getting used to the car going this way, and looks strong so far.
Yes, it certainly does. You can see all of the cars there. I'm absolutely loving the fact that we get to see all of the fields here, not just the battle at the front there. We also saw Philip Russell involved in a battle with the Morgan 8 of the number 73 of Elliot Patterson. That was down in 6th and 7th position, so very tasty little battle going on through here. But again, the chicane here, a very different challenge for the drivers here, because that apex, that crest of the hill, completely blinds here, Malcolm.
Yeah, it's tricky to do it, most certainly, and the weight transfer in cars is something different, and Bapty's slowing up as he reaches the top of Duffus, with Graham straight past, and Cope similarly. We'll see here whether it's not, he's retiring to the pit lane as we see other competitors go through. A slight flapping of the bonnet on Russell's BMW there as it approaches the hairpin. Hopefully that's nothing too serious later on. Patterson giving close chase in the 64 more. Nope.
That's absolute heartbreak for Bapty, seeing him having to retire out of the races in the pit lane with obviously what looks like some sort of a technical issue here as we cut back to Elliot Patterson, then onto the back end of Philip Russell here, trying his best to catch up onto the tail end of that thing. But I think Russell now just starting to eke out a little bit of a gap in that what is now essentially 5th and 6th position there. So they're closely catching on to the tail end there. In fact, actually, where has Philip Russell just gone? And just looking at Kenny Brown as well in that TVR Griffith, that is one of the slightly more exotic machines I think we'll see on here today.
Yeah, it's a very impressive car. It runs in Class C in the all-comers type, which allow vehicles that are truly in the spirit of the racing, but not quite within the original championship designation, and an excellent performance. This is Kenny Brown's garage project, and for him, a return to racing where he did so well in Formula Fords over 30 years ago, so showing that he's still got a good lot of pace there, and doing well. As we see here, Craig Houston in his Lotus, he was closely followed by Adam Kinman in the Rover, but pulling ahead quite nicely now. Adam given pursuit, but yeah, 91, the beautiful Lotus of Craig Houston, and the Vitesse, later Vitesse Rover of Adam Kinman following him there.
It is an absolutely glorious sight, that number 91 of Craig Houston. As you can see, a race leader then, John Kinman's clearing off into the sunset, catching up to one of the first XR2s at the back of the field. That's going to be David Riley in the number 36 that he is going to be putting a lap down there as well. Again, great to always see the XR2s still out, even though there is only the two of them there. But again, you can see, no matter the fact that John Kinman is a country mile out in front of everyone else, he's still pushing right now. And what I also noticed, Malcolm, was that coming across the start finish line, the green flag was being waved there. So we've got yellow flags coming down into to McIntyre's here, and I'm wondering what that means then. So do we have a car off on the inside of McIntyre's there, because then we have the green flag waving at the start finish line, and also a slippery surface flag out.
Yeah, it could be that what we can't view from this angle is if a car has stopped on the exit from the track into the pit lane, then the yellow would flag up there. Philip Russell has gone in, his flapping bonnet has had to be sorted as we see 173, that is Kenny Brown in the TBR passing Andy Graham, number 78 in the TR7 V8, so excellent performance from Brown, getting ahead of Graham, although he's not getting too far away unless Graham's had some temporary slip up there. We see then following behind the Golf of Charlie Cope and Elliot Patterson in the Morgan.
Yeah, I was noticing yellow flags over the back end of the circuit there, on the back straight there, that was completely separate. Blue flags obviously for some lapped cars, but that would make me believe that there was a separate incident. As good to finally be back with you, Malcolm. Sorry about that. Apologies about the audio differences there. But on the back straight there, obviously a very separate incident.
Yeah.
To what's going on here. As there's the move done on that TVR. So
yeah, super.
Right out to the nail. And this is what you love to see. This is almost what these machines were built for.
Yeah, it's excellent. So whether Graham had a slip up that allowed Kenny Brown in the blue TVR to pass him, and now the positions have been reversed as they head up now close to the rear of another car to be lapped. That's the beautiful brown and gold Lotus Elan of Colin Calder, who's having his first time on circuit racing. Former multiple British sprint champion, so a very experienced driver, but sprinting having previously been his focus. Now he's on circuit racing with these two pursuing him that are in second and third place.
And one of the things as well, Malcolm, is the fact that classic racing seems to have been going through an explosion of popularity in the past couple of years here, as we see another move being made on the, as you mentioned, the black car there. But as I said, classic sports car racing seems to be making a massive comeback track, not just here in Knockhill, but all throughout the world, throughout the rest of the UK. You've got big grids for the likes of the classic Spa races and the classic Le Mans races that happens every 2 years. What is the draw with these wonderful older machines?
Well, maybe it's the attraction of people who drove them when they were younger, or always aspired to have one when they were younger, and now have the little more disposable income that allows them to pursue their hobby. So as we see some of the Class A cars there briefly, and now back to Graham again, 78 in the TR7 V8 with Kenny Brown, that's 173 in the TVR, and over the line there Michael Longstaff in his MG midget with Paul Bowers in the red and white Fiat closely behind. These are Class A cars, and another Class A is Ian Mitchell, that's number 11, Vauxhall Nova, as he moves to the side to let the second and third place cars 78 and 173 pass by. Paul Bowers again seen there in his Fiat, he moving to the inside at our next corner of call, and yeah, a nice move there as Bowers is overtaken by two, and super. Brown gets just ahead, but has to take to the grass as he seemed to perhaps have outbraked himself a bit.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like there. It was a little bit of a wild moment going too wide across the lapped car there, and decided to have a little go on the inside there, and caught himself out under braking, and ended up losing it across the grass there. You can see it's a lot of time being lost by that TVR there. So again, it's the battle of the late breakers there. I think that's lost that one.
Well, he's done that, but he's not one to give up, and you can see already he's made ground on the main straight. Similarly in the back straight, he comes up again. Both V8 powered cars of considerable power, and they need quite a lot of delicate handling around here, particularly if there's still a bit of dampness left from the earlier rain.
Yeah, let's bring you through, as we mentioned, it's a class-based race that we've got going on here today. So Michael Longstaff currently leading the A class just now, then in the B class it's Charlie Cope leading that, and obviously leading the entire championship as well. C class is Kenny Brown in the TVR Griffith in the 173 leading that class. Class B is Elliot Patterson in the 73 Class E, John Kinman out front, and obviously you've got Class A, which doesn't have any riders in it or any drivers in it, which is the future classes classes there. So we've got Class G and Class H, but again, Class H is the XR2, and that's Duncan O'Neill that is leading that one. But with the guest category, Bruce Mitchell featuring as a guest in this one. That's we're no stranger to the classics, but seeing him as a guest this year.
Yeah, well, he hadn't attended the first two meetings as he was preparing his car, so now that it's prepared back out on the track, he's only going to be doing part of the season, obviously having missed the earlier events. So rather than register for the full championship, he's decided at this stage that he'll appear and as a guest.
Yep, certainly is. So final lap of the race then, and we are getting ready to get the checkered flag out for John Kinman on his first race, and across the line, there we go. So John Kinman's already across the line, so fast that we didn't actually see him there. Andrew Graham in second place, then Kenny Brown in third, Elliot Patterson is going to cross the line in fourth place, Charlie Cope in fifth, Craig Houston in sixth, Adam Kinman in seventh, Nicky Dixon finished in eighth position, Bruce Mitchell is going to take ninth, and Michael Longstaff in 10th position. As again we said with the classes as well, Class A is going to go to Michael Longstaff, Class B is going to go to Charlie Cope, Class C is going to go to Kenny Brown, and then with Class D as well, that goes to Elliot Patterson, Class E to John Kinman, the XR2s will go to Duncan O'Neill, no surprise there, and then the guest as well going to